One of the most important things that every firearms carrier must know is that your firearm is a tool of last resort. Hi everyone, it's John with today's active self-protection lesson out of Trinidad and Tobago. This one is a very sad lesson where we're going to see an armed guard turn into an offender in the midst of this video. It's going to teach us important lessons about when to draw a firearm, about why a firearm is not a great tool if it's not a deadly threat, and about the incredible resilience of the human body. Make sure you go read the news story that's linked on my website. The link to the website's in the description on this one. The guy in the checkered shirt is the guard, and he's trying to get something from this clerk here because the guy in white that you can just barely see, it's kind of washed out in the light there, is arguing with her. So the guard is trying to keep him away from her. They're having some kind of an argument. The guy reached over for what the news story said was a bottle, and so you see the guard there that is going to pull a gun. Now, this is in Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm not positive what the laws are there. But in the United States, we're definitely going to have to talk about this idea of brandishing, because in some states, this would definitely not have been legal. In others, it may have been defensible. So you can see him here, though, now that at least the presence of that firearm has kept the guy from coming back in the store, and now they're going to have an argument. So he's having a disagreement. You can see that the guy is clearly agitated, and the guard's trying to kind of cool him off and chill him out a little bit. But the guy keeps coming, so now the guard gets two hands on the gun, gets a little bit more defensive posture, and when the guy goes to grab a bottle, he shoots him once there, kind of makes the guy go, shoots him again, and now that guy's going to stay up, though. You can definitely see that he's been shot. You can see the fact that there's some blood on his shirt. Now, again, in the news story, it says that, after all of this went down, the guy actually died of his injuries, but you can see at this moment right now, he's still up, he's still a threat, and all of this is still going on. So you can see the guy kind of starting to shamble off, and our guard's still standing here, but now the guy turns back around, and he has decided not to kind of completely run off, and it looked to me like there was some blood on the back of the guy's shirt as well, so that bullet, whatever it was he was doing, was a through and through. And unfortunately, we don't get to see how the very end of it because they cut the video off just about now, but you're going to see at least that the guy walks off. Now, let's go back and learn some lessons out of this one. As always, there's 8 on our website, and I want to talk particularly about this, about the right time to pull a gun. This guard seems to be doing a pretty good thing here as he's chilling out, trying to figure out what this guy wants, and trying to de-escalate. Verbal judo is very important so that you know how to talk to people, right? You take that leaps method. But instead here, that guy goes to grab something, and so now the guard pulls a gun. And was that the right thing to do in the moment? Well, this was a brooding physical conflict, and so this is a great reason that I tell everyone, especially if you carry a firearm, that I strongly recommend an intermediate force multiplier with you as well, so you don't have to go hands-on with somebody. So something like a taser or a strong OC spray, this is exactly the kind of situation that I carry an OC spray for, because this budding physical conflict could potentially have been ended without the firearm even needing to be out, with a good dose of a healthy OC. I recommend either Saber Red or Fox Labs 5.3 as the two that I trust to protect my life with. I carry a Saber Red every day. If he had hosed this guy down, just seasoned him liberally, then this guy may not have been needed to be shot. So now we see the guy here is, because he feels a threat at least, he steps back and gains a little distance. You don't want to be in close proximity to somebody when you have a gun out, because they can take it from you. So he gets two hands on the gun, that's good. Gets away and gets some space, that's good. Now the guy's going to go ahead and start to grab something, and now's when we start to see, wait a minute, is this guy a deadly threat? Well, the guy felt the threat, and in the moment he could probably make that argument, but might be difficult to make, which is why if it's not a truly deadly threat against you, that you don't want to have a gun in the fight, use something else, an intermediate force multiplier. A baton can be an intermediate force multiplier, OC, taser, something like that, so that you don't have to use the gun, because a gun is a tool of last resort. Finally, even with the gun, you can see how long this guy stays in the fight. Just because you shot somebody doesn't mean that the fight ends. That's Hollywood. So make sure out of this one that you know how to defend yourself, you know when to defend yourself, and you have some options other than a firearm so that you can use them in those intermediate places to cover your asp.